Bad luck continues for the Los Angeles Lakers as they've lost their star guard to a left hamstring injury during the game against the Sacramento Kings. Russell, who was a reverse in the game, came off the bench in the hopes to dominate, but couldn't even last 5 minutes on the court. Keep watching this video as we tell you about his heartbreaking exit and what it means for the Lakers. First up, 2 losses in one night. Honestly, we're not sure what happened in the game against the Kings. Westbrook looked amazing after getting a quick and stylish assist, but as he was running back to the basket, he started limping and just wandered off to the locker room. We're being told he suffered a left hamstring injury, and while Russell did tell Coach Darvin Ham that he'd be all right, it's an alarming situation for the Lakers. It was a very abrupt injury to say the least. Russell only lasted about 5 minutes on the court before having to exit, and with Anthony Davis still out because of a bad back, Westbrook's injury might just be more serious than it seems, since the Lakers might possibly have to ball without 2 of their superstars. But that's just the first loss. The night was young, and it couldn't have been any worse for Los Angeles as they suffered a devastating 133-86 loss to the Kings. Now, we're not sure if you noticed, but Russell looked a bit rusty when he first came off the bench. He missed 2 3-pointers and turned over the ball twice before having to walk off the court. What makes things even more gloomy for the Lakers is that they literally have no momentum to carry into the regular season, as the injury-stricken team is yet to cash in on some meaningful minutes together. Next, right out the window, Coach Darvin Ham spent a lot of time with Russell in the hopes to build some trust and credibility. He convinced the 9-time NBA All-Star to start from the bench, only to see it end in the most terrible way possible. There goes all the credibility and trust, right? But that's not what we're saying. This is actually what the fans think. They've already started coming up with some absurd controversies that Russell suffered the injury because he started from the bench. We're not gonna lie, that's probably one of the most crazy theories we've heard in a very long time. What would the fans have said if he started the game and still injured himself? We just think it's a really bad time for the Lakers, and the fans are just fed up with how the team has been performing. They're clearly frustrated and want a break, but with 2 of their all-star rotations out because of injuries, it seems like they're looking to play the blame game with Coach Darvin as the target. Moving on, a case of hurt feelings. But there's also word going around that Westbrook is not injured, and he's actually just acting. What's even going on here, guys? Some users have been commenting on social media that it wasn't exactly a hamstring injury and more of a case of hurt feelings since he had to start off the bench. And while we really don't want to entertain that theory, it was pretty weird how Westbrook left the court. He pretty much passed up all of his teammates and just walked off without saying a single word. But faking an injury, we don't think that's the case here. He probably felt something in his left hamstring and thought it would be better to get it checked out instead of doing more damage. And word probably got to the coach too. He had to clear up why Russell started off the bench and called it more of a realignment than a demotion. We get the fact that fans are a huge part of the game and deserve a say in who gets to start and who doesn't, but coming up with theories as to how there's a rift between the coach and Russell and how starting from the bench is a demotion is not right. The Lakers need to be backed. Like we said before, these guys have no momentum going into the regular season, and you definitely can't expect LeBron to carry the entire team out of this mess. The fans need to get behind the team and trust the coach and his decisions instead of coming up with bizarre controversies resulting in more division. Up next, some hope for the season. If you ask us, we think Russell will be back in no time. He probably won't start against the Warriors, but he'll be back. And pair his return with Anthony Davis, then we have a dangerous-looking Lakers team capable of dominating the entire division and making their way to the finals. Anthony is expected to open in the first game of the regular season against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday, but we're still not sure who's going to be filling in for Westbrook. Point guard Dennis Schroeder also didn't step in when Russell had to walk out, since he's been sidelined since the start of the season because of an injured thumb. So while there's hope with Davis finally coming off the bench, there are still going to be some issues with whoever starts at the point guard. The 9-time NBA All-Star was supposed to get his left ham reevaluated on Saturday, but we're yet to hear any news about his return. But yeah, he won't be out for long, and when you have LeBron, Davis, and Westbrook charging down the court, it'll be a worrying sight for any team out there. Following up, it's going to take some time. You really got to feel for Coach Davis here. He's been trying his absolute best to lift the team and connect with the fans, but he hasn't had his day in a very long time. Whenever the Lakers pick up and start making strides, something goes wrong. And if we're talking about Friday, heading into the regular season is nothing less than a nightmare. The Kings schooled Los Angeles on the court, and they didn't exactly have a good game before that one either. So the last 2 games before the regular season have really shattered the team and Darvin. But credit to him for having realistic expectations. He didn't go on about how the team will make a magical comeback against the Warriors on Tuesday. He said it's going to take some time. Coach Ham told the press that the Lakers really need their top guys to be fit this season so they can find the rhythm and hopefully get back to their winning ways. He's also been talking about some new offensive and defensive systems, so let's see see what that is when the regular season officially kicks off. But yeah, don't expect the Lakers to get that momentum overnight or something. It's going to take some time before we see a lethal side of them. Now, for handling the move with grace, we'd like to jump back on the controversies about Russell starting off the bench. The whole reason why we didn't want to entertain any of them is because the coach has already cleared it up. He's the coach of the team, for crying out loud. And yeah, you're probably saying that makes no difference since we just went through the whole Durant episode, but the way Ham talked about him paints a completely different picture. Darvin and Westbrook have a really solid relationship. When he first asked the 9-time NBA All-Star to start off the bench, Russell, had no problems whatsoever. He told the coach that he'll do whatever needs to be done for the team, and if that's starting from the bench, then consider it done. So again, all these bizarre theories of him playing an injury because he was reserved make no sense at all. These guys are professionals, and they understand that no one is bigger than the team. Plus, has it ever crossed their minds that Westbrook is a basketball player who lives and dreams of the game? Why would he purposely want to sit out by faking an injury? He probably wants to play as much as he can. And last but not least, should you be optimistic going into the next season? We're not here to hurt your feelings, but we think the Lakers are set for another really ordinary regular season. They might make it to the playoffs, but we don't think they'll have a championship run this season. Even if all of their star power reunites on the court and finds their rhythm, it's going to be really difficult to win. Several of their players are coming off fresh from injuries, and the coach is fairly new and under a lot of scrutiny. It'll have to be nothing less than a miracle for them to go on to win a championship. But as far as having a good season goes, we think they'll do a better job than last year. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? How will the Lakers fare with Westbrook out of play? And is this season going to be another ordinary one for Los Angeles? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.